A pre-med kicker, or a sustainable business champion, or a criminal justice historian, or a next-generation coder. Wherever your passion lies, there's a place for you at St. Mary's University. Find what you're looking for out in the world, right here in Halifax.
It is often thought that glory is a matter of fate. But the truth is, no one was born a hero. It's an everyday journey. There are no shortcuts, no perfect scenarios, no days off. Things won't always go the way you expect. Sometimes you may ask yourself, why me? Why now? But overcoming challenges is part of the game too. It doesn't matter how strong your rival is, or how hard the game gets. Doesn't matter if all eyes are on you, or if nobody's watching. And if you're forced to improvise, show everyone there are no limits to what you can do. In that moment, nothing else matters. Your time is now. When passion runs through you, become your own hero.
At Dalhousie University, ocean expertise flows directly into the blue economy. We're advancing clean tech and digital solutions and shaping tomorrow's workforce. We're turning today's challenges in medicine and healthcare into tomorrow's opportunities. And through our community partnerships, we support discovery and inclusion that make a real difference. This is Dalhousie University, where local collaboration meets global impact.
let's work. Living it fast, baby, got ass, riding out, doing it wanna, doing it wanna, doing it wanna, ass, riding out, doing it wanna, doing it wanna, doing it wanna.
Super fun, we're excited.
My mom and my dad. I love you guys and thank you for letting me be here and getting me this fun.
Honestly, it's just like get the ball down and do what we've been practicing, do what we know how to do, and just not choke up.
And what do you think about the vibe for today?
I liked it. It was very uplifting and everyone was happy to be here and play. It was nice.
Amazing. And what do you think the team needs to do to get that win?
I think we need to just be very collected, don't panic, and play our usual game.
Afternoon and welcome to the 2025 Rising Tides Canada Youth Cup at Wickwire Field in Halifax, Nova Scotia. Today's match features Lethbridge FC U17 boys versus the NSLA U18 boys. Today's starting lineup for the visiting NSLA U18 boys. In goal, number 20, Andrew O'Brien. Number 2, Nathan Fallon. Number 3, Terrence Harding. Number 5, Mark Humegny. Number 6, Ben Sproul. Number 7, Luca Dupasquier. Number 8, Morgan Matthew. Number 9, Ethan Hardy. Number 12, Mohammed Saeed. Number 16, John Lynch. Number 19, Chu Ratsmandresi. And now for the Lethbridge FC U17 boys. Starting in goal, number 1, Nathan Adamson. Number 3, Riley Van Zegler. Number 4, Nathan Clark. Number 7, Braden Montgomery. Number 8, Ricardo Benegas. Number 8, Jaden Eghavreba. Number 10, Ty Stang. Number 11, Hunter Bain. Number 14, Joshua Bilby. Number 17, Augustine Yorkie. And number 22, Sakil Adhikari. The Rising Tides Canada Youth Cup promotes good sportsmanship by athletes, coaches, and fans. We appreciate your cooperation in supporting athletes and officials in a positive manner. Rising Tides would like to thank our presenting sponsor, Macron. Work hard, work harder. Rising Tides would also like to thank you men's sportsmanship and to the Dallas Field. The Tigers kick off their home season right here on August 29th with the women at 5 p.m. and the men following at 7:30 p.m. on AUS TV. Thank you, our broadcast partner, Maritime Athletic Profiles, for their coverage of all tournament games and bringing the streams to fans near and far. Visit Maritime Athletic Profiles on YouTube for a full live stream of all tournament matches.
And welcome back here, folks. We're moving from the U15 division to the U17 division, where we have Lethbridge FC U17 boys taking on the NSLA U18 boys, which should be an intriguing matchup for both sides as they look to keep on competing for ultimately that gold medal on Monday. Again, these are multiple divisions, so we have U17 boys and girls on top of the U15 girls and boys. So both of these teams are competing, but there's a caveat in this, folks. For each division that I just mentioned, there is a Group A and there is a Group B. So ultimately, whoever finishes first in both of those groups, Group A or Group B, will ultimately face off against each other, and those who are finished in second place will compete against each other in Group A and Group B in all those four divisions that I listed for the bronze medal. So we are just moments away from doing this game, and we also have a ton more coverage to go. This is a very little bit of a delayed start to getting this going. And here we have kickoff is good. I was just confirming with my producer about the colors of the jerseys to make sure. I was like, aren't they red? It's like, I think it's burgundy. I go, okay, well, we're being a color snob in this booth. So NSLA red/burgundy will compromise like in any good relationship. And, of course, for Lethbridge, we'll have, I would say, navy blue. Let's go with that. I'm getting some disagreement again about that. Sorry, a dark blue, maybe. Let's... And a stop on a dime for Lethbridge and cleared away successfully by Tusoa Ratsamantrisi. Wind has started to pick up here in Wickwire Field. That's located on the Dalhousie University campus. We are in Halifax, Nova Scotia. Mohammed Said. I was there for a moment for NLSA, and a good clear away defensively. The diving tackle made by Nathan Clark, listed as a center back in this roster sheet. This is going to be the first corner kick for Lethbridge this afternoon. And Hunter Bain will come back and kick it over to his netminder. I believe that's Nathan Admonson. We'll know here in a second when he turns over to see the number on the back of that uniform. And also here, folks, because this is a U17 matchup, the last few games we covered that were U15, they were 35 minutes half. Because this is U17, 40 minutes. So this will be all the way to 80-minute match. Lethbridge trying to engage on the attack. This will be a corner kick for Lethbridge. Corner kick goes flying. The header just a little bit wide for Lethbridge. As the Ty Stang got a head on it before it went wide right, and it's still in play for Lethbridge. And you can see that NLSA desperately trying to get it out of the box and out of danger. But so far, Lethbridge has been very good of keeping this in play and having relentless pressure. And as I say that, a turnover, and here they have the numbers on their side, trying to get a pass up ahead, as John Lynch was momentarily for NLSA open on that left side, but did not give him the ball or pass. A bit of a delay trying to sort things out. And Hunter Bain with it for the moment. Passes it quickly back to Jaden Ekarivaba. Headed away by Nathan Clark for the moment. And knocked down to the other end by Ty Stang. As a slew of red jerseys will try to come back to get it. And it goes past the end line, and the goalkeeper will have the power to do what he wants to do with it. Boot it, pass it. And it's cleared across the other side of the heels. Clark able to get there just in time to kick it away. As John Lynch was there to try and make something happen with it. Already 10 minutes have passed in this first half. No registered shot on goal. And no score yet. A lot of 50-50 situations here for most teams. Again, there's been a few corner kicks by either side. It just hasn't really resulted into many chances. And as I say that, maybe this changes with a run here by NLSA here, as they just barely made it into the box area. A couple players got tangled up. And a penalty, and linesman going to have a conversation with the two. Here's a free kick oncoming, and that had a chance. As you could even see, as Nathan Fallon went to set it up and go for the kick, it went far to the right, and Nathan Adamson had to do something to just add a weird bounce to it as well. If it was just a little bit more on line to the left, where it'd be more shot on goal, they would have had a really good chance. And it must have gotten a piece of it, actually, because they're doing a corner kick. So that is the first actually shot on goal by either team. Here comes the corner kick from NLSA. Here's a chance. And the ball is loose in the box here from it goes trickling out. And finally battling for it. Lethbridge does have it for the moment. This is dangerous right now. Lethbridge has a good chance to score. And the goalkeeper sliding for it. And you could see Xander Hogan for NLSA slid. And they're discussing what it is because it was in the penalty area. They're going to rule it a free kick just on top of the penalty arc for Lethbridge. That was interesting. Because again, when there's a penalty usually called or a violation in the box area, that's majority of the time a penalty kick. As you can see, there's a little bit of a delay in the action. A little bit of trickery, and the bridge that was built did not fall. NLSA was not fooled by the trickery displayed at that free kick position. Had a couple of different kickers that could have gone to. Good discipline. And we're talking a little bit with just everyone, this tournament in general. And really when it comes to close games such as this, and you may say, well, that's just armchair soccer, Connor. Everyone knows what that is. but it's almost who's going to make the critical mistake first and who's going to capitalize on the mistakes. Because both these teams right now, as we currently sit, not even halfway through this first half, it is going to take one critical mistake probably to make the difference between winning our game. Because this, as the way it's been going, may just be a 1 goal, maybe 2 goal difference in general with the deficit. Ethan Hogan coming into the match, and Oliver Webb coming in for NLSA. Hard to believe when we talk about Wickwire Field. Only a few years ago, back in 2021, where it got resurfaced. And people don't realize that this Wickwire Field is open for more than 80 hours per week. Sees about 3,000 hours of use and scheduled program throughout the year, like soccer, frisbee, football, field hockey, lacrosse, and rugby. Also space where students go for recreational activities. So, again, nothing was really fixed since it was installed in 2007. So that's just something I was reading about some time about Wickwire Field, is that it recently just got resurfaced back in 2021. And Dalhousie's been around for extremely, well, not extremely, but a long time, and they have a lot of facilities that give you an old school look to it, as well as being repurposed and refurnished. And one of the biggest reasons they upgraded the field was because how much it was used, to make it a little bit more durable and more consistent over the years, instead of it degrading quicker, to give it a little bit more life and shelf. As again, some more action in the box area. Still a fairly even game between these two clubs. Yeah, so when we talk about it being resurfaced in 2021, it was resurfaced with a thing called Feel Tough Core. It's a monofilament fiber. It's reinforced core designed to help with durability, play, and for safety. And it's one of the longest possible duration while service is in use. So that's one of the fields that they used. At the end, they have additional markings that you can actually see on your screen for football, lacrosse, and field hockey. So a very versatile and durable field. As we get back to the Canada Youth Cup. As we get back to action here, still 0-0 game, 25 minutes in this first half. U17 matchup between Lethbridge and NLSA. Trying to push the pace up ahead is Lethbridge. They've been fighting NLSA for a good few minutes there in their own territory and finally starting to change it up a little bit offensively. Here's a chance quickly, a bunch of burgundy jerseys surrounding. As Bain was trying to navigate through it and finally cleared away to the opposite end of the pitch. John Lynch with the move, but offsides ruled. Here's a kick sent over to the right side, trying to find a teammate. Does not, was intended for Morgan Matthews. Check that for Ricardo Venegas. Chance for NLCA with Ethan Hogan pushing it. There's Bain. A little bit of physical play, and finally a late whistle after all that. As they're going to give the call to Bain. I was going to say he did drag down his opponent with him. So definitely more substitution for Lethbridge. Number 5, Xander McClung. Number 2, Antonio Lopez. And number 15, Marco Paoletti. So substitutions in for Lethbridge. A little bit of back and forth here as you saw a little bit of tackling from behind there from Joshua Elby. And a card given out for that. Again, it's understandable both teams are frustrated at this point as we're less than 9 minutes to go to the conclusion of this period. As Harding, who is the recipient of the grab, is able to clear it past midfield. I'll give a quick shout out, of course, to Maritime Athletic Profiles for helping us with producing and operating this event. Wouldn't be possible without them. And also, you're watching this Canada Youth Tournament on Maritime Athletic Profiles YouTube channel, the live stream. The NLSA loses it past the end line, gives the possession right back to Lethbridge. And still, looking across the field, we look at the total shots on goal. It's only 1-0, just in favor of NLSA. But that could change here with a corner kick opportunity. Always so pivotal in these games. We'll see how the mayhem near the net works in the favor of either of the teams. And NSLA does not get a good look at it. That is a high boot up in the air for an extremely long time and headed by Spurl from NLCA, and then a few other heads. And as a linesman was pointing out the spot for the dead ball to kick it off. A little bit of almost panic there as Adamson had a striker right on him, was able to get it to his teammate Clark for the moment. As NLCA's right back on the attack, they've started to ramp up the pressure a little bit more here in this late part of the half. And that was a thunderous collision of legs that both just connected the foot to the ball, and you could hear that all the way up here from the booth. Here's a chance for Lethbridge if they can keep the pace up, and they don't, and a good follow-up from behind, able to steal the ball. Ethan Farty on that play. And Farty gets it over to Webb. Webb to Spurl. Spurl looking, navigating. Back out to his center back teammate, Nathan Fallon. Lethbridge trying to just get the offense going. As Bilby trying to go for it. And some incidental contact between two of the teammates. That leads to a stoppage in play, and that stoppage in play will lead us to a quick timeout as they see what is going on here, as we'll step aside and bring you more back of this tournament in just a moment. Welcome back here, folks. Just quickly out of the timeout. Seemed that the player that got hurt seemed to be just fine walking on power. And we talked about soccer. The sport brings a lot of physicality no matter what age it is, but always good to see that some of the young kids can jump back pretty quickly from any type of obstacle or nick. Oh, and a yellow card is being assessed. The second one that we've seen today in this match. And you see some conversation going on between the linesman and Nathan Fallon. You know, that whistle, that signals the end of this first half, and it has been a fairly quiet one. Definitely some physicality, some tempers flaring, a couple yellow cards assessed, but with all that being said, it is still 0-0 and only one shot that has made it on goal back in this first half, and credit it to NSLA U18 team. For myself, Connor McKinnon, and the crew from Maritime Athletic Profiles, we're going to take a quick break as we head into halftime and then bring you back with some second period action here shortly.
kicker. Or a sustainable business champion. Or a criminal justice historian. Or a next-generation coder. Wherever your passion lies, there's a place for you at St. Mary's University. Find what you're looking for out in the world, right here in Halifax.
It is often thought that glory is a matter of fate. But the truth is, no one was born a hero. It's an everyday journey. There are no shortcuts, no perfect scenarios, no days off. Things won't always go the way you expect. Sometimes you may ask yourself, why me? Why now? But overcoming challenges is part of the game too. It doesn't matter how strong your rival is or how hard the game gets. Doesn't matter if all eyes are on you or if nobody's watching. And if you're forced to improvise, show everyone there are no limits to what you can do. In that moment, nothing else matters. Your time is now. When passion runs through you, become your own hero.
At Dalhousie University, ocean expertise flows directly into the blue economy. We're advancing clean tech and digital solutions and shaping.
And we're back live from that short halftime break to the second half of this match between Lethbridge FC and NSLA U18 boys in this U17 boys division. Both teams are fighting for positioning in the seeding for both Group A and Group B. Remember, folks, those in the respective groups, depending on how they rank against each other after the 4 days, in that fifth and final day, they will move on to either compete in the gold medal or the bronze medal rounds. So there's a lot on the line here, and we're already a few days in. We will try when we can to give you an update on what the respective standings look like for each division. And that's a conversation that has to be had probably with the coaches and the runners of this tournament, but we will try to get the information to you sooner rather than later. And we talk about the first half of this match in particular. Not a lot has happened. You had a few brief moments from both teams where they're able to flip the side of the field, sustain some pressure, have some opportunities, but has not resulted into anything substantial for either squad at this point. You've seen some physicality. You've definitely seen some frustration. 2 yellow cards have been assessed. It's actually the first time in all of the tournament today for day 3 we've seen yellow cards actually assess to either of these teams. But again, these are 2 teams that are trying to compete and play at a high level. We got a couple of shout outs on the live stream. Again, I give a lot of credit to our producer, Dylan, for all the replays and actions, and also a lot of course, credit as that ball goes absolutely sailing into the stands. It's always funny because it's amazing how close everyone is to the soccer field here and the Wickwire field. Well, a lot of baseballs, because when I used to cover baseball in Texas, yes, from Texas, folks, I spent a long time there. There was a baseball field in St. Angelo where the Angelo State University was located, and they had the St. Angelo Rams. It was the logo for, well, the mascot for them. But for baseball, because they couldn't really be too picky with how many baseballs they had, they actually had to take baseballs away from kids that would go and grab if there was a foul ball. So a lot of kids would go unhappy. But again, when you're in D2, you're trying to save as much money as possible and not try to give too many free baseballs away. I'm not saying here, folks, that if you're at Wickwire Field right now listening that you should go and steal that ball right now. That's not what I'm saying, but sometimes you just have the opportunity, you got to take it. Couple moves made there to try and get some pass for Agustin Gayorki. NLCA putting the pressure on Lethbridge here to start and open up this second half. And the ball goes sailing. Thankfully for there's a boot to the other side. And that goes off the goalkeeper, off an own man, and scored. That is the first goal of the game, and in spectacular, unbelievable fashion, it's a goal. We'll have to see the replay of that, but that ricocheted off a player and the goal. That is just a series of unfortunate events, not the actual series, but just that specific play there. Oh, cue it up on the replay. We'll have to see this again. That's just really great pursuit, and yes, on the clear attempt, went off a Lethbridge player, and for a goal. Ty staying with the goal. You just don't see that at all. I'm still a bit of shock on that goal that was scored. I haven't seen that the whole tournament. Just as a goalkeeper, you're taught to clear it if you have someone coming, and that is just one of the wildest sequences you'll see all tournament long. And wow, a little bit of a shove from the goalkeeper there from Lethbridge, sending a message. Check that for NLCA. I can imagine Xander Hogan not really happy with how that played out. And again, there was some general frustration, but we talked about what would make the difference in this game were mistakes or capitalized mistakes. And I don't even know if I would call that a mistake. It just was seen more of an accidental play, but sometimes the accents are what going to make the difference in a close, tightly contested match like this one is on the pitch here at Wickwire Field. Few players talking from behind, and a few players hit the floor. No whistle called. Again, for folks tuning in, that first half, no goals, and joining in, there was a clear that was trying to get done by Xander Hogan for NLCA as a goalkeeper, and typically that's what happened, but it ricocheted off the clear attempt, off Ty Stang, and the 44th minute. And NLSA putting, again, I would say if you're arguing about who has been putting more pressure in the zone, I would say NLSA has done that successfully for majority of it. But again, they're going to need something, a mistake from Lethbridge's aspect where they're going to make a mistake. And there's a pass way up ahead that is just going to stay inside the zone, and it hit right off the goalkeeper for Lethbridge. That's Connor McKinstry. We don't have a 31 on the roster, but I'm assuming that's the only other one because that's Nathan Adamson, who's number 1. And Lethbridge already 1 goal, trying to seek another one to give themselves that insurance goal that can help put them over the top against NLCA, SA, pardon me. It's been an up and day down with not the weather per se. It's been fairly hot, but it was a fairly calm and hot and humid day, and the wind started to pick up a little bit to give some of the relief to the players, but that's always been a talking point with these athletes, is making sure they stay safe and hydrated, especially in the middle of, well, start of August and towards the end of the summer. And a diving save from Andrew O'Brien. Check that, Connor McKinstry. And a tackle and a whistle blown. As again, the physicality is still on display. Sakil Adhikari with a tackle. It was on Nathan Fallon, who will take the free kick from the dead ball spot. And you can see Fallon trying to wave them off in the direction. Gives a signal and sends it away. You can see Fallon a little bit frustrated there. Gets a high five from his teammate, Ethan Fardy. And that's booted away from Lethbridge's side. There's a nice looping shot. The header almost was able to connect there with Ty Stang again, who had the one goal, was trying to make it two. You can see in the replay there some more demonstration of what a tough day it has been for both teams. Here's a chance here. And a slide and get from behind defensively. Wow, that is replay worthy. As you had NSLA with a great chance and opportunity to try and tie this up a piece. You can see here on the replay as it was a nice pass up ahead to get the break started. And should have probably shoot it a little bit earlier. As Muhammad Saad had the best chance at it, but a diving get from Nathan Clark prevented that from being worse than what it is. And Connor McKinstry will send it the other way. You'll see a replay here of what transpired there again. There's just not a lot of love lost between these two teams. Just a little bit of body contact, a little bit of a slight shove at the end. They're letting it go. They're giving them a little bit of leeway to be physical if they want to be, as long as it's not borderline too much. Is one of the reasons why 2 yellow cards have been assessed this game. Marco Paoletti and Agustin Yorkie. Nathan Clark coming out. And Brady Montgomery coming in along with a few others. Change the look a little bit. And Braden Wazlovich. And Xander Hogan keeping calm. Rolls it out. Decided to kick it over to Connor McKinstry to try and send it to the opposite side of the field. Out of harm's way, goes out past the sideline, and will be NLSA's throw-in. Some substitutions now for NLSA. Ethan Hogan coming in, and John Lynch back in, that as they were the starters in the opening stanza. And Hogan sends it the other way. High arcing kick. And played well by the defense, and pickpocketed away, shot on goal. Another chance, a rebound opportunity. The other side right there in the box, and just cleared away by NLSA. What a performance there. And a penalty going against Lethbridge. And Akari, who's had a few physical moments, and puts a hand up saying that is on me. A free kick opportunity, but what a sequence of events you saw there on the replay. That was a great chance for Lethbridge. Here comes the throw-in. And Lethbridge has it. As Josh Belby had it, and back to the burgundy uniforms once more. McKinstry will happily hit it away. Approaching close to 15 minutes from the conclusion of this game, with Lethbridge up 1-0. Good move by Bain. Gets tripped up a little bit, falls, looking for a penalty, nothing. As Hogan will track it down. So again, folks, this is a matchup that we're going broadcast right now between Lethbridge and NSLA. Then after that, we'll have a game going on right now at SMU. That's U15 boys game, Lethbridge FC versus Kodiak. And we'll have another one here at Dow around 6:30 between Inner Halifax and the Halifax Hotspurs. Then we'll finish the last game of the night for the U15 girls here at Dow. PEI U15 versus Hamlin United U15. So that will wrap up this third day of broadcast, and we'll have a slew of other games tomorrow. Another 8 a.m. start for us. And again, if you want to catch more of that action for this fourth day of the tournament, you can follow Maritime Athletic Profiles on Instagram or on YouTube. And all the live stream on the YouTube channel is produced and powered by them. Or an option, you can come here to Wickwire Field if you're in the Halifax, Nova Scotia area, or if you're in just Nova Scotia in general and you have some free time, why not go watch some of the youth play soccer and see some of the future of what this young group of young boys and girls will have to offer in the future for potentially university programs. Again, a lot of rich history here, not only in Nova Scotia, but in the Maritime provinces. You have teams like Cape Breton historically. They've had a ton of great teams for both the men's and women's team. That was a nice save, but the save did not matter as a whistle was called before the kick was legal. And a couple of substitutions coming in for NLSA. Coming in, number 19, so Retsamandri, and number 3, Terrence Harding. That was a good tackle from Braden Wazlovich. And for NLSA, they are running out of daylight, figuratively and literally, as they do need to get something here to at least tie it. Not to try to always compare teams at any level, but St. Mary's University, when you look at the men's soccer team, they were able to really rely on their defense a lot of the times when they were able to go up a few goals or even one goal. That was one thing that was really impressive about them, which also could be a detriment, is when they were able to go up maybe 2 or 3 goals. They rely a lot on their defense to make plays, and they also had a really good defense and leadership and a netminder who's had a lot of experience. And you get the kind of the sense with Lethbridge after they got that initial goal that being able to rely on their defense has been a big part of why they've been able to not give NLSA any type of chance of potentially coming back, even though it is a one-goal game, and any mistake can be made here to change the complexity of it. And the offsides was called, so it would not have mattered for NLSA. Corner kick opportunity for NLSA, which is a big one down the stretch, as we're only about close to just a little over 5 minutes away from this being a victory in favor of Lethbridge. They need it here and now. Lethbridge again And Ty staying with the opening goal earlier. Hear a lot of the family members here later down the stretch trying to encourage both of their sons, daughters, nieces, nephew, cousins, trying to encourage them. Georgi back in for Lethbridge late. That ball goes sailing. It might be over the fence here at Wickwire Field, maybe. Nope, didn't. Thought it almost cleared the stanchions here. One way to kill a lot of time off the clock. And that is a long drive of a shot from Xander Hogan.
Testing.
Need something here desperate and late. Getting close to just a minute left in play here at Wickwire Field. Lethbridge up 1-0. A mistaken clear or attempted clear, bouncing off Ty Stang, a Lethbridge player, resulting in the one goal of the game. That was the key to this one as we were progressing. It's going to come down to one mistake, one decision. That might have been the difference here. NSLA just trying to get something going. They get inside the box here. Here's a turn, and what a great save there late by Connor McKinstry. That was one of the best opportunities NSLA has had all evening long, and it's getting down the wire with about 15 seconds left. They're going to set up a corner kick here late with the time winding down. We'll see if they give extra time. I don't think they will. They'll have to get this off here now, and here it comes for NLSA. The boot, it's still loose in the box, still trying to clear. It's still in. Another shot late. Still go through a web. Defenders, another shot going, and a save by McKinstry. Mr. McKinstry, how do you do with a great save in the boot? And that is going to wrap it up. A late push by NLSA late, and what a competitive game. And both of these teams should hold their heads up high because they compete at a high level. And even though it was a mistake that led to the Lethbridge goal, you have to give both credit to these two teams for doing what they've done. And we'll have so much more. We do have a post-game interview coming up with the player of the game, and we do have more coverage here coming up for this day 3 of this tournament. So do not go anywhere, folks. We'll step aside and then bring you back with post-game coverage and then transition to the next game of this tournament. So from myself, Connor McKinnon, Maritime Athletic Profiles, stay tuned.
Today's player of the game is presented by the Halifax Wanderers and is awarded to, from Lethbridge FC, number 4, Nathan Clark.
So he's like that, and he's like that, and he's probably going like this. Get out of the tree already. Okay.
Hey man, could we quickly go?
Welcome back here, folks. Just post game coverage here with Nathan Clark. And Nathan, this was a pretty physical game for you guys. It just came down to the one difference and the one goal. Just how would you characterize this win? It seemed like a really gutsy performance from your team.
Yeah, 2 days ago we played the who did we play again? I have no clue, but all I know is that we lost 2-1 of that game, and we knew that we had to really come back this game and really show up. So it was a great performance from the lads, and it was a really physical game, but I think that we really stepped up our game and we really came up to the challenge.
And obviously, it's always a team sport, but you got nominated for Player of the Game. What does that award mean to you?
I was promoted as captain a little while ago as a team, and I feel like it's a little bit of an honor that I was captain of the game, especially when I went out in that probably 60th minute to an injury. It feels great to know that people can see me and have that award going on, but it was really a team effort out there.
And just the last question before I let you go. When you think about this summer for you, obviously probably some traveling and whatnot, what's been the highlight of your summer just personally for you?
Oh, probably this tournament now, yeah. This is probably the furthest tournament that we've done as a team, as a club, probably. Coming out to Halifax has been really fun. Coming from a small town in Alberta, the furthest tournament we've really gone to is Halifax, Edmonton and Calgary, stuff like that. So this is really fun and really good experience for a lot of the people.
Sounds good. Well, Nathan, before I let you go, I want you to sign that right there since you're player of the game. So go enjoy yourself. There you go.
Thank you.
Thanks, Nathan. Appreciate it. Interview, so we'll step aside and keep bringing you more coverage of day 3 of this 5-day tournament. Stick around, folks.
Tomorrow's workforce. We're turning today's challenges in medicine and healthcare into tomorrow's opportunities. And through our community partnerships, we support discovery and inclusion that make a real difference. This is Dalhousie University, where local collaboration meets global impact.